Hello, ladies and not ladies, and welcome to this episode of the Anime Cast. In this episode, we will be reviewing Eden of the East. My name, no, that is not my name. I am Ava. One of these compatriots of mine is Relic.
Yo.
And then we have Tyler.
Hey.
So, personally, Eden of the East is one of my favorite animes. I have the DVD Blu-ray combo sitting on my shelf. I'm actually looking at it right now. I got both of the movies. Same thing, the DVD Blu-ray. It's phenomenal. I absolutely love the show. What about you? Actually, just recently watched it, Rick. What did you think of it?
It's not that bad. I've only gave it the once over since I did it in one day. So it wasn't that bad of a series. Nice concept to it.
And what about you, Tyler?
Well, at first I wasn't too sure about it, and you wouldn't leave me the hell alone, so I figured I may as well watch it, and I was actually pretty impressed with it. I enjoyed both the movies very much.
That's true. I actually pushed a lot of peer pressure on him. I forced him to watch it.
Like most.
Actually, like most shows. I was the same way, believe it or not. I don't know if I mentioned this to either of you two. The first time I watched it, it was on Netflix. This was like a while ago when I still had Netflix, and
It's still
thought that it was still a good deal. Yeah, I know it's still on there. I believe they actually took it off for a little while and then put it back on. Don't quote me on that. I don't know.
Well,
but I was like, I had it in my queue for a while, and then one day I didn't know how I felt. I didn't know if I wanted to watch it. It was just there in case. And then one day I was bored out of my mind, like absolutely, like not a damn thing to do. So I'm just like, you know what the hell? And I watched it. And I actually went through the entire thing that night. Then I found out there were movies because they had the first one on there, and they didn't have the second one. I was aggravated because anybody who has or hasn't seen this one, if you have, then you know what I mean by I knew there was a second movie by the end of the first one. For those who haven't seen it, if you see it, you'll know what I mean by I knew there was a second movie. But it wasn't on there, so I thought like maybe it didn't have a license or something, and then like a month later I find out that it's been out for like 4 fucking months. And I was pissed. I watched it, and it was fantastic.
one thing we can comment on is one thing that got me right away was the art style. The art style is a little different from the stuff I usually watch. It seems more like a Miyazaki film or something along the lines of that, as opposed.
It does. It does.
Normal.
It looks like a sharper Miyazaki style. It's fun. I actually I was one of my friends on Facebook just randomly messaged me. He was asking me for like my top 5 or something. I don't know why I didn't delve into it. And I asked him if he'd seen Eden of the East, and he said that he didn't like the art style. He saw the first episode and didn't like the art style. So apparently that's like a deal. Apparently that's a deal breaker for people, and I don't know why.
It's probably the same way you choose dubbed over subs for some stuff. So do I. Like I can't watch the subbed of DBZ.
Nobody can watch the subbed of DBZ.
Apparently people can.
I don't even want to get into that. We'll spend 40 minutes just talking to that. Oh my god.
But like other people can't. Like you, just because the voice actors don't like certain dubs of it, and that's the same way with art style. Like there's that one that Guy was trying to show us with a horrible art style.
Oh, for anybody who's interested, the Requiem for the Darkness. It's short note. It's not a bad idea. It's just none of us could get over the art style to it.
Yeah, it's kind of bugged us.
Yeah, it looks really flat. It looks like it was drawn on a pad of paper and then just kind of flipped through. But I digress. This episode's not about that. What did you think of the art style, Tyler?
I didn't like it that much. I found it kind of plain.
Really?
Well, it just I've seen a lot better, but it was good quality.
Yeah. The one thing that's noticeable, to me, that's really noticeable with the art style is the eyes. The eyes are very different.
Yeah, the eyes and that, they look like they're constant, like you can see their cheeks because they look like they're constantly blushing.
Yeah, constantly got the red on there, yeah. But yeah, I feel like we probably should have gone to this earlier, but the plot of the show. Basically, it's funny, I had a way that I was going to put this in, now I can't think of it. The show starts off, main female lead, talking about some things that, will make more sense further into the episode, or into the show, but that's not important. It's pretty much about these 12 individuals, dubbed the Selasau, who are handed 10 billion yen and a phone that can do just about anything that you can imagine. And they're told to change the country, to change Japan, to improve it, to save it, I should say. So they're referred to. What I mean when I say this phone can do almost anything is they have a button on it they can press 24/7, and it connects them to this concierge, Juiz, who any request she can do it. And they're referred to as the saviors because they're tasked with saving this country. But there are rules. If your balance reaches 0, someone under the role of the supporter will come and eliminate you. If you spend any of the money, you're allowed to spend the money however you see fit. But if you spend the money on personal use, then the supporter will come after you. Or
that, and the money cannot be converted into cash because
by no means can the money be converted to cash. It is 100% digital funds. Yeah, I gotta say, it's probably one of the most unique ideas I have ever come across.
Well, like I was telling you earlier while we were getting prepped, this is a nice concept. I believe they could have done more with it, but it's a nice concept and it's a good what-if scenario.
Mm-hmm.
That and the plot of the first episode, it seems a little off because how everybody first comes into the play.
It does. The way everything is introduced is the plot doesn't start to make sense until late episode 1, around episode 2. Episode 1, they just they try to introduce a whole lot to you, and then gradually over the next couple, over like episodes 2 and 3, they kind of clear it all up, so that way you have the information, and now they're just showing you where it goes and how it applies. And they did a really good job with it, if you consider how hectic the first episode really is. I don't know if this would be a spoiler, what I'm going to say, but, if you want to play completely safe and not know anything in regards to any relation to the end, I do think that at the end of the second movie, they could have done a little better with it.
Yeah. There's, with everything, this has its flaws. It's not perfect, but it's still a good ride.
Yeah. Did you watch after the credits in the second movie?
No, I did not. I had to actually go do stuff, so.
Yeah, after the the little ending bit of the second movie.
Yeah.
If you fast forward through the credits, there's actually a little bit after that. And that's what I'm referring to as it could have ended better. Personally, I see it the way that they left it is there was a possibility that they could have made a third movie. Of course, I don't remember the year on it, but I believe if there was going to be a third movie, it would have been out by now, so I wouldn't hold your breath on it. But it's one of those things, they left it available where it could, but it didn't need it.
Well, from what I gathered, the second movie was released in 2010, so...
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years later, I would say the chances of it are slim. 2 years, you have a possibility. 4 years, it's kind of, you've got to you accept it where it is.
Yeah, just like a few other series are getting add-ons after so long. Like one of my favorites. So.
Yeah. So.
So, should we talk about characters now?
Characters, yeah. Might as well start off with the main. I don't know where else to start off.
No crap.
The first character that you're introduced to is the main female lead, Saki Motomi, I believe.
Yep.
Is her last name? I absolutely love Saki. I have to say she's probably my favorite female character.
Well,
out of it.
It doesn't help that she has red hair and you're into that.
Hey, you shut up.
Hey, I'm just saying, dude.
No, she's got the nice person. She's got that innocent personality to her.
Yeah.
Especially if you see how she handles the events in the first episode.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys figure that one out. Tyler, why don't you add something? You haven't said something in a while.
I found her to be like you said, she did have a very innocent personality, and I actually don't have much to say about Saki, to be honest.
All right. Then going on to our main male character, we have a character who ends up going by the name of Akira Takizawa.
Not who the only name, though.
Well, no, but that's why I said ends up going by the name.
Yeah.
Don't worry about spoilers as far as not the only name. It's episode 1 stuff. You find out things in episode 1. It doesn't actually tell you anything, so these aren't spoilers. We're being very spoiler friendly. We're trying to avoid, ruining it. No, not for now. We're gonna avoid ruining it, Rick. No, we're not going to ruin it. That would be cruel to the kind people that are devoting their time to listening to us ramble.
Yeah, good point.
I don't honestly know what to say about Takizawa.
Well, Takizawa just seems like that all-around, nice person that has all kinds of good karma going their way kind of person.
Yeah.
I like how he does everything his own way and sees nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, he's that 100% pure individual.
Yeah.
When he's not being serious, he's being goofy.
That just reminds me when he first introduces himself to Eden of the Eden of the East Club, he's riding a friggin' mechanical bear.
Oh my! Yeah. Yeah.
Definition of no fear.
That. Jesus. Yeah, you've got to have some. You've either got to be absolutely shameless or have some serious balls of steel to do something like that. That's just ridiculous. But moving on to supporting characters, I really don't think there's much left to say about Takizawa.
Yeah, not much. We're trying to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, so we can't go diving into stuff. Then,
I mean, as far as supporting cast, we can get to that. Yeah. I think the best way to do it, like I said, my favorite female character was Saki. My favorite male character is, Takizawa. I mean, sure, both main characters, but you know what? I love the characters. What about you, Rick? What are your favorite characters, male and female?
I gotta go with Panties and.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Panties.
And shit, I'm blanking on her name. Number 10, I believe her name.
Purple hair.
Yeah, purple hair.
Kuroha.
Yeah.
Number 11.
Number 11. I was off by one number. Sue me.
It's fun. It's all right. Throughout this, when I was going back over them the last couple of days, while I was watching it again, I kept thinking that she was number 4. I don't know why. I just kept thinking she was number 4.
Well, my thing is I'm bad with names. As the series progresses, you'll find that out real quick. Even with animes I love, like with DxD, I'm bad with names.
Yeah. Don't worry about the whole number this, number that.
It'll explain itself.
It won't spoil anything. It's like empty. Like I said, like they do in episode 1, they hand you a bunch of information that doesn't make any sense, and then they just kind of mold it together in the following episodes. We're sort of doing the same. We're just all this, like the numbers and the names. It's all blank information. Well, it doesn't actually tell you anything.
Well, I also like going back from the characters here, I also like the fact that they throw all kinds of plot at you at once, and then they turn around and explain it over time, which is a more unique style of doing it, as opposed to character introduction, then slowly build plot, climax plot, and go down from climax.
Yeah, it's actually, I like that. They actually, they see the viewers as, capable. Like, oh, hey, we can just, just throw, plot-sized fastballs at them, just throw all of this plot in their face, and we think they're gonna, they're gonna remember it. They're gonna remember what we've told them, and then once we explain it a little bit, it's just gonna be, bam, that's what that was, and it was done really well.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite male character?
I already went over the Panties.
Did you? Oh, yeah, Panties. That's right.
I forget his real name, but that's...
I want to say Itazu? I don't know. He's referred to as Panties. You don't need to know his name.
Cheating page.
I don't need a cheating page. What about you, Tyler? Who are your favorite characters?
My favorite characters, I can't remember his name or his number, but
what do you remember about him?
Glasses. Kind of snarky.
Was he the film guy?
No. He was he was one of the more serious players.
Number 1.
Yes.
Yep. I'm not going to give a name because
he has to be my favorite male character, considering how much he had to do with the plot and
he was
how in depth his strategy was.
Other than our main character, he is he is like one of the 4 most plot heavy Selasau. Yeah. So what about female? Where are you on that one?
Female, I'm not sure. I'd probably be... I'd have to go with the same one Rick did, actually. Yeah.
Kuroha?
Yeah.
Well, it's her and the other one. I'm trying to remember. Brown hair. They kept Nine
kept mispronouncing her name.
Yeah.
Michan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking it's as far as female characters, it's between Saki and Michan, but I do like Saki better.
Because of the red hair.
Hey, you be quiet.
Hey, I can't blame you. My waifu's got red hair, so I can't sit there and knock you too much. I'm making fun of my brother in here.
Just keep shooting yourself in the foot.
Just keep doing it. Up the buckshot now.
A nice big hole going in that foot.
Yeah.
So, what else have we left out?
By the end of this, your foot's gonna look like meatloaf.
That's right. There was there are actually a couple of little things that I picked up going through it again. Now, without spoiling this, I'm gonna try spoiling this as little as possible. In episode, I believe, 10, episode 10, Takizawa is going to end up at this, I don't know what to call it, a company, a business, an institute. When it gets to that point, you'll know what I'm talking about, if you remember any of this. There'll be 2, trailer trucks that drive by. Remember those. When you get to the second movie, you'll know exactly what those were. I found that I say that because I've watched the series a couple of times. Like I said in the beginning, it is one of my favorites. And until this watch through, I never actually noticed that they show them that early. It's like I said, this shouldn't. I can't imagine that this would spoil anything, considering I haven't told you anything. But and then something else that I noticed in the beginning of the second movie, there's a scene in an airport, and Saki and one of the supporting characters, Osagi, are in an airport. While they're walking through, you can hear someone over the speaker paging a Mr. Kenji Kamiyama. I've, like the other one, I never actually picked up on this before, but Kenji Kamiyama is actually the name of the director of Eden of the East. I found that really interesting. It's like sort of like a little Easter egg in there. I mean, it's not really important, but it's neat.
Easter eggs are always fun.
Easter eggs are always fun. What's the point in doing things if you can't find super awesome hidden stuff in there?
Yeah, like I said, I literally watched this in one day. It's not like it's one of the ones I've watched multiple times. We'll probably get into those.
Yeah,
at some point.
It's one of those things that you're not really going to pick up on unless you've gone over it. And the only reason I actually picked up on it is because while I was swapping discs from movie 1 to movie 2 earlier today, I happened to catch a glance of the name up in the top of the case. So when it said it, I paused it. I'm like, wait a minute, I know that name. I went over, I looked at it, I'm like, son of a bitch.
What else can we bring up about this series? We can bring up like what we thought about the opening and ending themes to it.
That's true. Fun fact, because I said this to I asked James about this because he also has it on DVD. In all honesty, I wanted to get him as a guest speaker for this one, but we ended up recording later than expected. So he's already off and gone. But this is actually the first time I watched it through on the Blu-ray because I've recently, in the past month, gotten a PS4. So now I have a Blu-ray player. If you look at our channel, we've got PS4 gameplay on there. So that's me. That's Ava. But yeah, this is the first time I watched through on the Blu-ray. I will say the menus on the Blu-ray discs are amazing. I love them. They're interesting. Like, on a DVD menu, like you go into an options like the setup for the language and the
Yeah.
subtitles. It brings you to another screen.
Yeah.
On the Blu-ray, because the main menu for them is like the phone. It's the Noblesse phone that the Seleção have. And you pick through the options there. When you press on one of them, it opens up like a little window to the left, and it says everything interactive on the main menu screen. It doesn't open up any others. And while actually watching the episodes of the movie or whatever, on the PlayStation controller, I believe it's the square button.
Yeah.
Is the main menu button for it. It's you hit that and it brings you to the main menu. It actually pops up like a little mini bar on the bottom of it, on the bottom of the screen, where you can select main menu, scenes, depending on what disc you're on, extras, the setup and everything for it. You can select that while the movie's actually going. So it's like multitasking. It doesn't actually stop the movie to go into all that stuff. I actually found that really cool. Yeah. Because I don't believe it has something like that for the regular DVD version.
Yeah, well, I watched mine off Netflix, and I don't know how Tyler came about watching his.
Netflix.
Tyler actually, he watched the series on Netflix, and I believe you borrowed the DVDs for me for the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I watched them today, but when I watched them, both movies were on there, so.
Yeah. The second one was it was added after I stopped paying for Netflix. I actually have a question, Rick, since you've watched them recently. Yeah. Was the opening for episode 1 different than the opening for the other 10 episodes?
No, actually.
No, it wasn't?
No.
All right, because that's what I was actually talking to James about. Because when I watched it through on the first episode, instantly I noticed the opening wasn't the same. So that's another little fun fact. Apparently on the Blu-ray DVD set, episode 1 is different. Episode 1's opening is actually in English.
Well,
it's a completely different song, and it's in English.
Both opening and ending were in English for me. So that's
really?
Yeah, it's because I chose the English option on Netflix. It could be if I watched it subs, I could have got the sub thing, but I was my thing is I was watching Eden of the East while multitasking. I tend to do that a lot.
Yeah, so dub is kind of the way to go with that.
Yeah, I have no idea what the sub sounds like, but it was probably stuff.
Neither do I. It's the way I am with subs and dubs is kind of weird.
Yeah, I know you are, but as time goes on with the series, people will find out. Some of us prefer the dub and dubbed over subbed, and
that's actually not what I meant. I have some shows that when I watch them the first time, the language I watch them on will leave an impression. Particularly Code Geass and Clannad. The first time I watched those was in English. I don't even have the faintest desire to know what they sound like in Japanese because I feel like it's just not going to compare to me because of the impact that show left.
Yeah.
That those shows left. Eden of the East is the same. I have never listened to the sub, and there's probably going to be someone who absolutely spites me for this. But I have no desire to. I absolutely love the dub for it. This was back in the day when Funimation was. I mean, now don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on Funimation, but this was back when they were better with their voice casting, and the dub is just phenomenal. But back to the point that you brought up, the opening and endings. The episode 1 opening on the Blu-ray, I don't know what to call it because I don't know what it is. I absolutely love it. The regular opening, it's not bad. I didn't tend to listen to it as many times. And, well, I didn't listen to it a whole lot of times, but it's not bad. The ending, I absolutely love the ending. And that's rare. I very rarely find myself liking ending themes to animes. I don't know what it is. They just seem very inadequate when compared to the openings. But I really like this one. Well, what did you think, Rick?
Me, I don't care much for either one.
Mm-hmm.
But I, like, if I had to choose one just because lyrics are alone, I would probably go with the second one. Mm-hmm. Because they seem to match the most to the story, but I just don't like the sound and feel of it, of either or.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Beanpole?
I don't know if, Tyler, I don't even know if you remember the themes for them.
I kind of do. I remember the first one, and I enjoyed the ending.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... The ending, when I first... the first two times I actually watched the series, I completely skipped through it. But I was playing Stepmania, and I noticed it, and I'm like, you know what, let's do this. And I'm like, holy shit, I love this song. And I've watched it, like, every single time. I do like the animation for the ending, though. The way they do that with all the paper, I love it.
Yeah.
It's different. It's unique. It's creative. It's awesome. I will say, though, as far as themes from the show go, not just concerning openings and endings, my favorite one, and I've actually gone over this with these two several times today. My favorite one is actually, I don't remember who it's by, but it's a song called Reveal the World, and it's played in the end of the last episode and at the end of the second movie. I'll look it up before I finish editing and uploading this. And I'll put the name of it down in the description so you guys can go check it out. But I have it playing in the background right now as we speak.
Well, post-production, that's gotta be the opening themes for the show. So you'll get a small tidbit of it at the beginning. If you want to check out the full thing, look it up on your own time.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. I don't know really, like, I don't know what it was about it, but the first time watching through, when I got to the last episode, it's what was happening at the end of the last episode. I honestly, I cannot say the slightest thing about it because it will spoil literally the entire plot.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. I don't even want that. I, as a human being, do not want to spoil this for you because it is a wonderful plot. But it's the combination of how well the song fits with the theme of the show, and just everything that's happening when it's playing at the end of the last episode. It never fails. Every single time I watch it, it gives me goosebumps throughout the entire scene. Constant goosebumps. They don't go away, and I love it. It's just the way they put it together. It's just amazing. I don't have words to describe it any better than that. I wish I did, but I don't.
Well, anything else really we can talk about the series, Adam? Because you're the one that knows it the best.
I think we've pretty much covered everything. Only thing I can think to do is, Rick, would you recommend this show to anybody?
Yeah, I probably would. If on a scale of, I don't know, 1 to 10.
Let's put it this way. If you could rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it, and would you recommend it to somebody?
Probably on a scale of Witchblade to DxD, I'll put it about 7, and I would recommend it to people.
You would or you wouldn't?
I would.
What about you, Tyler?
I probably rated it about maybe like an 8, and I would definitely recommend it, especially if you like how would you say it?
Plot heavy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have to rate it. I would love to rate it a 10, but we haven't actually touched on this, but the series itself is only 11 episodes long, which I was so disappointed when I first found that out. It does have the 2 movies, but it's with the length of it and my personal dissatisfaction with the final ending, I would have to rate it about a 9.5. And there is not a fiber of my being that would not recommend this to any person with a freaking pulse.
Well,
if you're watching this, there's a reason you're here, and it is to go and watch this show. You are now contractually obligated. You must go watch this show.
I don't know about contractually obligated. We don't have friggin' QA here, man.
You don't know that. No. So, yeah, that's final verdict. I'd put that at about average, about an
a little
8.
above average.
I'm average rating about an 8.5, 8.25.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend it. So, if you're interested, you guys should go check it out.
Okay.
So before we end this here, out of curiosity, is there any anime you're watching right now, Rick?
Me, I've finished the XD again for like the 3rd time. Well, I like that series. I'm waiting for season 3, and then I'm waiting for season 3 of Lost Property. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
And as far as that, no, not really, because I have the WWE Network now.
What about you, Tyler? Is there any anime you're watching right now?
Not at the time, no. The last one I finished was Girls in Panzer, and I haven't watched anything else other than that.
That's right. I've got a couple things I got to show you. We'll discuss that later. As for me, I'm actually right now. I got a couple of things that I'm watching. I'm watching Golden Time. It's actually really good. It feels like it's going to end up along the lines of Clannad, but I can't say that for sure. It's different. And I actually have 2 of them. The 2 of them that are actually released with this season, which is No Game, No Life. I guarantee at least 10% of the people who will watch this know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
I've heard good things about it. I'm probably going to check it out.
I believe, about a day and a half ago, maybe 2 days ago, they released the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
Now, I've been a fan since the manga came out. I stumbled across it on a website. I was just shifting through. I was hitting that random button. I found it. I was hooked from the second I read it. The first chapter was hooked.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the idea of it. And then I'm also watching a show called 1 Week Friends. It's another one that's part of this season. Again, episode 3 just came out a couple of days ago. Episode 4 is actually scheduled to come out in a couple of days, like 2 or 3 days. It's one of those slice of life animes. It's the nice relaxing ones you can just lay down and watch. Even though, I feel like that thing is going to rip me apart on the inside by the end, but either way, I seem to be used to it by now.
All we need to do now is handle some business, right, Adam?
First off, I would like to say, I don't know if it's I would like to say, but
With a thank you to the
give thanks to a SirMarc on Crunchyroll.com, who actually made the cover picture that we're using currently. I believe we're using it on Facebook,
and
YouTube,
Twitter,
and it's on Twitter. He actually he threw that together for us. He's actually made a couple of things for us.
Yeah.
So, as promised, I told him that we'd give him some credit in the video as a thank you for it. So yeah, thanks. We're definitely using them. I'll actually put a link to his profile on Crunchyroll down in the description. So, as always, subscribe for updates on new videos. We got Let's Plays we're going on with. We're going to be doing many, many more reviews. This is just, a first taste. And, check us out on, like we said, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. We've got a group on Crunchyroll for anybody who has a member. I'm actually the one who runs the group on Crunchyroll. All the links are on our channel, so go check those out. And
we're not done yet.
We're not done yet?
Yeah,
we're not done yet.
I'll take care of this part. Well, if you got suggestions for series to watch, stuff you want us to take a look at, all except for a few here and there, we'll take them in consideration. I think Adam knows which one I'm referring to.
If you've got any suggestions for shows you'd like us to review, Eden of the East was actually a suggestion, coincidentally, by SirMarc as well. He said he suggested Eden of the East to us, and I told him that we'll definitely do it.
Yeah.
Considering, as you all know, it's one of my favorites.
That and there's another thing. If you want to do sponsoring or advertising at the end of this podcast or at the beginning of this podcast, just contact me via Twitter or contact Adam via Crunchyroll or Facebook, and we'll get back to you.
Or you could just send us a message on YouTube. Pretty much, you want us, you want to get the word out, get a little advertising done for you or your channel, for whatever you may do, let us know and we'll talk to you.
Yeah, just like all we want in return is the same favor. That and we're gonna be uploading this to two places. There's gonna be an edited version on YouTube and a non-edited version linked in below on not Crunchyroll. You got me confused there. On Absolution Network, which will be linked in below.
Yeah, due to certain copyright laws that may or may not absolutely suck, we can't include everything in this episode that we would like to, such as that song that I mentioned earlier, "Reveal the World." We actually planned on putting a little clip of it.
That and we also are putting. We are also going to be doing a lot more stuff with them, hopefully.
Yeah, so, if you're watching this on YouTube, then I'm sorry, but you got the edited version. You got the cleaner version that we can't put anything in. If you want all of the,
music and
neat little bonuses, then you can. I will have a link in the description for our episode on Absolution Network, and you can check it out there. We'll have all those extra goodies for you, where we won't get hit with copyright laws.
Well,
so
I guess
damn legal rights.
I know,
exactly.
Right?
You heard him.
Well, on that note, thanks for joining us on episode 1, and stick around a little bit on the Absolution page, because I think I can pull some extra stuff together.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.